Because Sasha Tavolieri today has put out an update that Alexander Isak has agreed a 5-year contract with Liverpool Football Club. There's expected to be a bid that's going to go up to somewhere in the region of 120 million pounds. Thoughts on this, Daniel, in terms of Liverpool pulling off this signing?
It's scary stuff, isn't it? Let's be real. It's scary stuff. But at the same time, right, Liverpool, they're changing so many players. Now, look, sometimes you do that and it doesn't always work. They're already Premier League champions. Too many changes sometimes can be too much. And we're forgetting, right, Luis Diaz, everyone is just looking at that as, oh, Diaz, he's not their best player. He's not Salah. He got 16 Premier League goals last season. Diaz runs and he starts to press. He is a very, very pivotal player to Liverpool. So that's a loss. Trent is a loss, right? Frimpong, good player, come from Bayer Leverkusen. We're not quite sure how he's going to adapt to the Premier League, but Trent is a massive loss. They rely on how they play so much through Trent's ability to pass the ball forward to him and Mo Salah. The combination, the link-up play they have is second to none. So they're losing top players as well. Now, Isak is wonderful. And people say he's the best striker in the league. He's not. That's Haaland, right? Haaland has scored so many more goals than him. I think it's so disrespectful when people say that he's the best striker in the league because he's done it for like a season, 2 seasons, whereas Haaland has been scoring goals in his sleep. 36 Premier League goals the season before last. Isak 22 last year. So that's like 14 more goals. Like Haaland is the best striker in the league. And Isak also has an injury record. I think it's 39 games he's missed over the last 3 seasons. So, we don't know how he's going to link up. We saw Salah and Mane clashing at times. So I don't know how Salah's going to feel if Isak's going to become the main man. I don't think it's just hand Liverpool the Premier League title if they get Isak, right? Because I just feel like Arsenal and City, and everyone's sleeping on City. I think City, they've got Pep Guardiola, right? There's every chance that they could just switch it on and then we'll be like, why did we doubt them? So obviously it's scary, Liverpool getting Isak, and it looks like it's going to happen now. But by all means, the way some people are going on, I was listening to TalkSport the other day and Rory Jennings and everyone, and they were saying if they get Isak, just give them the Premier League title. I don't see it that way at all. I think it'll be a 3-horse race, Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. And you know what? Chelsea could even sneak in that race. They just don't have enough experience for me, but they could be there or thereabouts.
They're a dark horse, aren't they, Chelsea? They can't be slept on as well. Yeah, I'll make you right. I think when you say freeway, you know what I mean? I think it'll be more of a 2-way. If Arsenal can sneak into that, then excellent. I think in terms of Arsenal, we've still 1 or 2 top draw players short of, for me, being comfortable and confident of going, it's a 3-way title race. From what I saw last year, I don't think it was. When were we in the title race last year? We weren't. That's
true about January, but look, there was a lot of injuries.
About January, Rob, after 5 games, we were 2 points behind. After 10 points behind, mate. After 10 games, we were 7, 15, 7, 27. We was never in a title race. The season before that, granted, it
89 points.
So the season before that, we were blowing teams away. Yeah, it was 2 points short though, wasn't it? That's the thing.
There's no way you can't say that we're not going to be in the title race, though. Surely,
there is. So you can't say that we will, just as like I can't say that we won't. It's exactly the same thing. It's just opinion, isn't it? Neither of us know for 100%. All I know is you can't tell me that I can't say that, and you say the opposit, but you can say that. That's ridiculous. Like you're just
if you think. How you can think that Arsenal won't be in the race, considering that when we had Kai Havertz up top, we got to 89 points, right? And we've improved our team since then. The only way is if we're never going to have that many injuries again, right? So I think that we've improved our team significantly. Yeah,
significantly.
We've signed
how?
Six players.
How significant have we improved them? And how significant of Liverpool?
Guys, can I just jump in for a minute, because we're gonna get onto reviewing Arsenal's signings a little bit later, and I don't want to, just because we're on this situation with Liverpool. Aaron, let me ask you this question about something Dan though did say about Liverpool. We know how good of a signing this is, and I think we've gone over that 100 times on everyone's shows and podcasts. But what's your thoughts on people completely writing off City, Arsenal, Chelsea, that it's a foregone conclusion now that Liverpool will be the champions of England?
Yeah, no, I think as well, Dan made a really good point, saying that people are sleeping on Manchester City, and as well saying that, they've got Pep Guardiola. I'm making 100% right. I think people are, even with Isak, they are willing to hand Liverpool the title. It doesn't really 100% work that way, Not when Manchester City are there, They've signed good players. They've still got Haaland in there. There's probably still a few more ifs, I'd say, with Manchester City. If Savio finally on the wing comes to a bit more of fruition, if their signings, just like Liverpool's, I suppose, about make a good impression. But they got Guardiola, bro. I mean, look at what they've done over the last 5-6 years. I know it's not the exact same team, but they've still got Pep in there. I definitely wouldn't be ruling them out. And there's still a bit of time left in the window. I don't really know who they're close to being linked with and all that. I'm sure their spending isn't entirely over, but I think it would be really dangerous to rule Manchester City out, albeit Liverpool having what looks like an unbelievable transfer window. I mean, assuming that they obviously, it's a fantastic window what they've got done already. Let's face it. I mean, if they had Isak and God forbid if they had Rodrigo on there, it's the statistics you'd think would fall a little bit more in their favour, with what they've got. But yeah, you can't be sleeping on a Manchester City side. They're no mugs. I know they didn't have a great season last year, but I think it would be really, really naive to rule them out. I think with Arsenal Football Club, the reason I feel a little bit different with that, and I'll skim over it because I know you want to get back over it, is because we haven't done it yet. I believe that the other two teams ahead of us, Manchester City and Liverpool, have had better windows than us. And Chelsea,
a better window than Arsenal.
Let me try and see if
Reinders and Cherky they've signed.
Yeah, I know. We've signed Zubimendi to replace Thomas Partey, which I believe is a good signing, by the way. And Gyökeres, we signed 6 players. They're hardly, the other 4, aside from Zubimendi and Gyökeres, hardly getting you off your seat, are they? We've signed a 21-year-old Mosquera. We've signed
a Man United fan. You asked him about Darren Fletcher and Ji-Sung Park and players like that. You need depth. Everyone says we don't have depth. Now we're signing players for depth, i.e. Madueke, i.e. Kepa, who's essentially a number 1 keeper coming in as a number 2. Right, and then obviously Norgard's a Premier League captain who's played over 200 games in the Premier League.
When was the last time, aside from at Bournemouth last year, Kepa was a number 1? By the way, just asking.
Well, for a whole season last year, he was number 1.
Bournemouth, yeah. So we're Bournemouth's best.
That's their best ever season.
Not a starting level, is he? If he was a starting level, he'd be at Real Madrid or Chelsea still, wouldn't he?
Name me a better number 2. Name me a better number 2 than Kepa.
Mate, the Kepa is what it is. But the point I'm saying is that going to get you closer to a title? Like we've gone well across it. I'm saying Zubimendi, good signing. Gyökeres, unbelievable. Gyökeres is the only signing at Arsenal have made where you go, wow, that's a significant improvement. Zubimendi, it looks like a really good signing, but it's not a significant improvement over Thomas Partey. Gyökeres is a significant improvement over Donkey Havertz and Gabriel Jesus, who can't string a minute of football together, let alone string a contribution in terms of goals when he is fit. And you're looking at the other 4. We signed 6 players. Mosquera, cool. So might come in and be the next
whoever Liverpool signed. Whoever Liverpool signed, that's improved their team dramatically.
Kirkes. Yeah, Robertson's on the decline. Tsimikas ain't quite what it is. You know what I mean? He's a little bit proven.
Okay, so they've signed the left back. So
yeah, Florian Wirtz probably walk into the vast majority of teams on the planet in his position. Isak probably would do the same.
Is the top signing, right? And if they
look at the 4 players I've just named. Frimpong, of course, I agree with you. Trent's unbelievable. That's a very, very, very hard shoe to fill. Really is. But I reckon they've really, really adequately replaced him, and they've done it double quick for not that much coin either. I think that's still a fantastic signing. Ignore the fact that they've replaced Trent. That is a fantastic signing at right back for Liverpool. Frimpong. Kirkes is a fantastic signing at left back. You've got Florian Wirtz in there, who's a megastar. They've had Ekitike in there.
He is the one, right?
Isak. So they've signed 5 players, and 4 of them, I reckon, are significantly better than.
But they're going to lose. They're also going to lose. They're going to lose Diaz, and obviously, God rest his soul. They've also lost Jota. So they have lost players. They're losing players. They've lost Trent. Do you know what I mean? So they're not just signing players. They're losing key players as well.
They've got a much better window than us.
Aaron, can I ask you a question? So you've said that Frimpong is what I want to make sure you get the word right. You said it's a brilliant replacement for Trent.
I think it's I didn't say brilliant. I think it's more than adequate, is what I said.
That's what you use. Adequate.
Yeah, I think that is
why do you not think Zubimendi is an adequate replacement for Thomas Partey?
What did I say? I actually used the high one. I said it's a good signing, like literally 30 seconds before that. I think it is a good signing. I never said it wasn't. I just said it doesn't significantly improve on him, is what I said. I said Zubimendi doesn't significantly improve on Thomas Partey, and I reckon that's fair to say.
I think he does. Zubimendi can control a game.
No, I get so Daniel, but how good is Thomas Partey then in your eyes? Because
Partey was good, but he's never going to control a game like a Zubimendi can control a game. That's for me. You know, I've watched him twice in 2 friendlies, and you know, I'm in love with the guy already. He literally controls the game, and he's got I was surprised how tenacious he is. Zubimendi. I think that's a level up on Thomas Partey.
But here's the problem, that it lies for someone of my sort of opinion. Sit there and think, all right, Thomas Partey was injured and his allegations and what he's charged of, no good, go away. But also people seem to forget that he was also an unbelievably fantastic midfielder, and probably on a consistent basis, probably our best midfielder last year. And Zubimendi played 45 minutes for 2 friendlies that no one gives a shit about, and all of a sudden he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, I understand. I understand you there. I understand you there, Aaron. But this is why I always try and understand people's base view, so that we understand where you're coming from. Because I get your point. If you don't think Zubimendi is a significant improvement on Partey, you think he's sort of on par, but that means you think. But you've said that Thomas Partey was a fantastic midfielder. So you're right. It's very hard when you have a fantastic player for the replacement to be better, because they're already right at the top of the tree. For an example, it's almost impossible when Mo Salah leaves for Liverpool to find a like-for-like replacement that is significantly better. In fact, you're probably going to get worse in that position, because how many right wingers are genuinely as good or better than Mo Salah? So that's why I like to know what you think of Thomas Partey, because it puts into context your view on Zubimendi. Because the way it sounds when you say he's not a significant improvement does sound negative. But if you think Thomas Partey is in the top 95% of all defensive midfielders in the world, then it stands to reason that Zubimendi isn't a significant improvement, because you can't get better than him. But therefore, it means it's a good signing. So it's just trying to understand what your view of Partey was, because it brings your comment about Zubimendi into a different light, in my opinion.
I think as well, I think people think over the last 5 years, like I said, when fit, Thomas Partey's been an unbelievable midfielder for Arsenal Football Club and one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. So that's where I'm sort of on my standpoint. Zubimendi, really, really good signing. I like it. But you know, when we're sort of looking at, is it a substantial improvement on him? I'm sorry, and until I see Zubimendi play for Arsenal Football Club, which we can't do yet on a consistent basis in the Premier League, I'm not going to be able to categorically go, this is a significant improvement, because I haven't seen him play for Arsenal. I've got 5 years of reference for Thomas Partey.
So the question I would have for you on that, and it alludes to this super chat, it says,